40 for Rateable Crest Titans.
The Pirelli Welsh Rally Championship kicked off in style with the season opener, the Cambrian Rally. Llandudno's town centre played host to the ceremonial start and service area as well, bringing the championship to Mostyn Street and to the people. The spectacle was great. The real action, though, would be in the stages, of course, and leading the way after the morning loop of those will be Russ Thompson and Andy Murphy. Russ not feeling great, so they will be struggling a little as the morning went on. The Mitsubishi pair would, however, have a reasonable lead to take with them into the afternoon. Scott Faulkner and Gareth Parry second at this stage, 15 seconds back from the lead. A change to Pirelli tyres this season seemed to be paying off. And rounding out the early podium places were Richard Hill and Patrick Cooper. Leading the way in the W13 class, the time's close as well, just 4.6 seconds back from Faulkner up ahead. Once again, the W3 class would be providing some giant killing performances and entertaining the spectators along the way, and it would be Dave and Toby Brick leading the way there at this stage in that little 1400 Corsa. Only 52 seconds, in fact, outside the podium places overall. And the battle for that class would be close. Chris Powell and Jim Lewis taking second place, 5 seconds back from Brick and in 5th place on the overall leaderboard. It would be the W12 lead to start the day, meanwhile for Owen McMacken and Lee Taylor. Themselves only a further 4 seconds back on the overall results in 6th. And for Andy Williams and Andy Darlington, it would be second in W13. A little way off Hill in lead of the class, but holding their own in 7th now. Just behind Williams and Darlington on the overall leaderboard was this man Damien Prats, Johnny Tad Evans alongside. Back for another go on the stages this season, and things so far were going well. 8th overall, second in the class. Tom Llewellyn and Ross Whittock make the best of starts in the W6 class. They lead the way at this early stage with a reasonable margin as well, lying just inside our top 10 leaderboard with 9th. And rounding out that morning top 10 were Howell Davies and Simon Jones. That result also giving them the lead in W5 at this stage in the rally. Let's take a look at some of the positions outside of our top 10 leaderboard then. It will be a switch to the W4 class for Perry Gardner and Keaton Williams this season. And things were going well so far, leading the way in the class in 11th overall. Tom Coutry and Ian Fraser bring the Mitsubishi Galant out again this season. And what an iconic car and livery to see out in these North Wales stages. Third in the W13 class will be theirs at this stage in the day. Zach Hughes and Tom Wood lead the way in the N3 class. Back out in the Fiesta for this season and showing that the pace was well and truly still there from the first stages of the rally. The ever-entertaining BMW of Colin Griffiths and Mike Wilding end the morning with 3rd in W12. Some good times mean 14th on the leaderboard for the pair as well. Heffin Lloyd Davies and Rich Jones, meanwhile, will be a little way off the lead in the W3 fight, but they would be going well overall. 15th place on the leaderboard, 3rd in the class. Tony Simpson and Ian Bevan were back, and it would be 2nd place in the W4 class as well, showing that they mean business. 18th overall before service. Just behind Simpson on the overall leaderboard then was this man Tony Williams. Steve Pugh in the Escort looking out of the side window. Not in the same class though. W6 was the fight that they were concentrating on. The pair lying 2nd in the class now. And 3rd in the class were Jeff Phelps and Pete Wilson. The pair not having the best of runs so far though. A puncture causing them issues on the morning stages. They would eventually retire in service. For Simon Pickering and Colin Jenkins, it would be 2nd in W5. The Escort pair lying in 23rd on our leaderboard. 2nd of the N3 crews now on the results this weekend. Matthew Baddeley and Phil Kenny changing to the Fiesta this season. And this would be the first time driving the car as well. in anger for the very first time behind the wheel. Just imagine that. It would all be about seat time then this morning. For Steve Dealey and Alan Proudman, it was third in W4 for the morning stages. The 2:05 pair just a few seconds behind Baddeley on the overall leaderboard as well. And with that N4 battle taking place up in the podium positions, it would be Ron Hall and Phil Spilstead left to take that third in the class. The Subaru pair rounding out the top of the class results after stage 3. Frustratingly, the morning would see its share of retirements. It's a tough rally this, and we lose Kieran Darrington and Abby Haycock when the engine expires on the second stage of the rally. There'd be worse news to come though for Baz Jordan and Paul Wakely. They crashed the Avenger out of the event on the second stage of the day, lodging it down a ditch. Difficult for the recovery crews to get out, but the main thing is the crew okay. Power steering issues will be the final straw for Andrew Davison and Tom Murphy, sending them off the stage. Nothing major, but the pair were unable to continue as a result. And it will be bad news also in stage 1 for Matthew Hurst and Declan Deer. Alternator failure sidelining the pair on the way to the second stage of the day after such a strong start. For Rydian Price and Stephen Brown, it will be stage 3 ending their rally. A drive shaft breaking, seeing them unable to continue. So for those who managed to reach the end of the morning stages, the results and the leaderboard here at the opening round so far are looking like this. On to the second half of the day then, Damien Thomas and Paul Bevan stepping up to take third in W4. No change though in N3. The event had gone just to plan for Matthew Baddeley and Phil Kenny. They aimed to get to the finish in the new car and they did just that. Second in the class, 20th on the leaderboard. For Simon Pickering and Colin Jenkins, it would be second in W5. A very strong end to the first round of the season for the pair. And there'd be a bit of a change around in the W3 class as well, seeing Dominic Hodge and Stefan Arndt step up to third place in that glorious new wide arch micro. Also taking 18th place on the leaderboard. A bit of a navigational error, shall we say, for Tony Williams and Steve Pugh would see them lose a little time. But thankfully, time is the only thing they lose. They end the rally with 17th overall, second in the class. Second in the W4 class, meanwhile, would be Tony Simpson and Ian Bevan. A little way off the class lead, but ending the day with 16th and a strong showing for the opening round of the Pirelli Welsh Rally Championship. More change in our class positions, this time in W13. Josh Taylor and Heather Merrison end the rally with third place in their Impreza. No change though for the hard-charging Colin Griffiths and Mike Wilding. Plenty sideways, and third in the W12 class would mean a good day in the forests, ending the rally with 13th overall. It's Zach Hughes and Tom Wood taking the N3 class victory here at the Cambrian, getting the Fiesta to the end of the rally without a mark on it. A good day's rallying for the pair. Frustratingly though, Howell Davies and Simon Jones dropped to just outside the top 10 leaderboard into 11th through the afternoon. But it would still be a strong result for the Escort pair this weekend. Stepping up though to the top 10 on their debut in the car would be Perry Gardner and Keaton Williams, the pair having a great run to take the class victory as well as that 10th place overall. And talking of class wins, it would be the W6 class victory for Tom Llewellyn and Ross Whittock. The Escort pairing ending the weekend with that historic category victory. After such a strong start, we'd see a few places lost for Owen McMacken and Lee Taylor. Just in case you were wondering where they were, they do still take 8th place overall. That takes them second in the W12 class home this weekend as well. It was a solid day with no change on the results in the last loop of the day for Andy Williams and Andy Darlington. Second in W13 would be theirs through to the end of the rally, 7th overall. We love a bit of drama here in the Welsh Rally Championship, and a puncture through the morning combined with problems with the intercom would certainly give us plenty of that for Damien Pratt and Johnny Tad Evans, who had to push to claim back some times and some places in the afternoon. They do end the rally with the class victory, 6th overall, pretty heroic given those problems. That W3 class battle had been close, but a puncture for Dave and Toby Brick would see them lose out on victory this weekend. They do still come away with 5th overall though, and a pretty good 2nd in class. But that of course means that it's a class victory for Chris Powell and Jim Lewis. A good end to the rally for the pair, finishing just outside our overall podium places in that 1400 Sunbeam as well. On to those podium places then, and it will be 3rd for Richard Hill and Patrick Cooper. A good end to the rally for the pair, some good points as well to take away from this opening round. Dare I say, eyes on the championship this early. Scott Faulkner and Gareth Parry were unable to make any advance on our rally leaders, but that didn't matter. They'd done what they came here to do this weekend. They got their championship campaign off to a flying start, and they were happy with their pace as well. 2nd place, a good end to a strong, trouble-free event. But that means despite a spot of man flu, taking victory this weekend was Russ Thompson with Andy Murphy alongside, and he won't mind me saying that, I'm sure. A great end to a challenging rally for the pair. The conditions, not the only thing trying to get the better of a pretty sick-feeling Thompson. Victory this weekend, well-deserved for the pair. It would probably be Lemsip rather than beer to celebrate tonight in Llandudno. So confirmation then of the result from a dramatic opening round at the Pirelli Welsh Rally Championship here in North Wales.
Russ, clearly you're not very well today, and apparently, according to Andy, you were pretty much hanging onto the steering wheel and letting the car drive you through the last few.
Yeah, we've not been as well as usual, but we've tried our best today and done all right, really, I think, yeah. So we've ended up 2nd in Group N in BTRDA and won the Welsh, so...
And in the Welsh particularly, to win among the entry that we had today, that's a good result.
Yeah, very good, yeah, I'm very happy with that, so we're happy with what we've done, really, and...
As we have now come to expect, a strong entry gathered for the opening round of the 2019 MRF Tyres Fiesta ST Trophy. Zach Hughes leads our Fiesta crews away, a few new names joining the championship this weekend. Onto these iconic North Wales stages then, and it would be Bobby Mitchell and Shannon Turnbull taking the early lead. The brakes locking up in places on the morning stages, so they didn't get the head start that they'd wanted, but it was a sign they were trying.
Yeah, it's been quite eventful, or not eventful, just learning. The first stage was so slippy, and I wasn't sure if there was something wrong with me or something wrong with the car, and we were pretty sure we lost a lot of time in the first stage, and then looked at some of the times and actually seemed to be okay. Second stage is a lot better and just seems to be mixed. Some bits seem really grippy and really slippy, so don't know, feel like we're being quite cautious just because of that, and there's just times kind of locking up the front brakes, don't know, so yeah, just kind of doing what we can, and it seems to be sort of working out okay for us at the moment.
For Zach Hughes and Tom Wood at this point, it would be 2nd place. They'd be suffering with some brake issues themselves, showing they were trying just as hard, but they put in some good time, so like just 6.9 seconds off our rally lead.
Yeah, I mean, we're here. We've not had the best of mornings, to be quite honest with you. Kilcarnog was very tricky, so I thought I'd adjust the brake bias a little bit, but I wound it the wrong way. So Alwyn was just an absolute nightmare, to be honest. I couldn't. The fast stuff into braking was awful, but LC was so rough as well. I just took it easy through there, but we're there or thereabout. I think Bobby's a bit in front of us, but
yeah, you're swapping a few seconds here and there with Bobby, so it looks like it's going to be an exciting afternoon.
Yeah. Hopefully, I've got the brakes sorted now. So flat out again now.
For Will Corey and Brynmore Pierce, it will be 3rd. A good start to the day. Will driving a car owned by his co-driver, so no pressure, but he'd want to get the car to the finish.
Yeah, not too bad. Had a bit of excitement on the first corner of the first stage. Almost caught us, definitely caught us sleeping. So I'm surprised I didn't get slapped in the teeth with the pace notes, to be honest. But yeah,
it's a good place to have the first problem, isn't it? Because at least then you've got it out of the way for the rest of the rally, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. So it was exciting whenever we went for the brakes into the first corner. The car accelerated, so that was always a good thing. So yeah, and then after that, then we settled in, got our breath back, and sorted our lives out, and got forward. So it was good.
Radiator issues were causing Elliot Stafford and Lewis Sim a few problems. They reached the end of the morning stages with 4th place overall, 12 seconds back from Corey.
just sort of getting used to the car. First time driving it and haven't been out for testing or anything, so it's just been learning the car and how it handles and things like that.
This weekend would mark the first ever Forest Rally for David Kelly and Kenny Bustard. At least they picked a small one to start, hey. Things were going well though, they didn't have any expectations, so 5th place was probably exceeding what they did have.
How's everything going this morning, David?
Yeah, everything so far is going good. It's just a lot of learning out there. It's got our first day on the gravel and it's our first day in the car. So it's a lot of learning, but so far so good.
Matthew Baddeley and Phil Kenny switched to the Fiestas for this season, sitting in the car for the first time on the Cambrian this weekend. They just wanted the seat time in the new car not to be setting any stage records alight. So 6th place was theirs at this stage. It was battle of the new boys.
Yeah, we made a good start. Well, a good steady start this morning. Clocainog was a bit slippy than we thought. Alwen was fast as usual, and Elsie was rough as usual. And we saw Ridian off in Elsie. We've moved. I think we moved up one spot. So we'll just see. To be honest, it's just getting used to the karting. First time we've driven it. It's all sorts of new things to get used to, and Phil's just firing notes at me. So
there is some early attrition. Frustratingly, we lose Ridian Price and Steve Brown. They break a drive shaft on the 3rd stage of the rally. So the morning complete here at the opening round of the series, and it's looking good, isn't it? The leaderboard looking like this before we go onto the afternoon stages. Into the afternoon loop we go then, and we lose Elliot Stafford and Lewis Sim. They were having problems with the car cutting out in the stage, as well as getting a puncture in the 5th stage of the day as well. Worse was to come though for the pair when they fueled up the car after the stage and were unable to start it again, ending their rally at the fuel station. It was job done though for Matthew Baddeley and Phil Kenny this weekend. No heroics in the new car, just getting it to the finish. But they do end with a 5th place overall finish. And it had been a great first rally in the forests for David Kelly and Kenny Bustard as well. They get to the finish of the rally in Llandudno with 4th fastest. Not bad, showing that they had the pace to be in the fight, even at this first round. On to our podium finishes then here in the MRF Tyres Fiesta ST Trophy, and it would be a good weekend for Will Corey and Bryn Pearce. Mission complete, they get the car home in one piece, but it's better than that. They end the rally with 3rd overall. There would be drama in the second loop of the day though. Problems for our early leaders, Bobby Mitchell and Shannon Turnbull. They get a puncture in stage 4, but pushing on regardless, they don't even notice. That means that they have to start the next stage with that puncture. Valuable time lost. Made worse by the pair picking up a 2nd puncture in the stage, having to wrestle with some very sideways moments in the car. They do end the rally with some good experience under their belts, even if it wasn't the win. 2nd place this weekend, and more heroics from the Fiesta drivers. So that means that it's victory here at our opening round for Zach Hughes and Tom Wood. They had noticed the problems for Mitchell up ahead, and that meant they could back off, manage their rally, and take it a little easier to the finish. If that's true of any rally driver, taking victory at the end of the day by 55 seconds. So confirmation then of the final results in the MRF Tyres Fiesta ST Trophy here at the opening round, the Cambrian Rally.
Zach, you and Tom looked to be having fun today, and it was serious fun, as the BTRDA calls it, because you came here with 1st place.
Yeah, no, it was a great day, to be fair. I mean, it's been hard work. The stage's been a little bit rough. Bob Mitchell gave us a real run for our money this morning. But he had a bit of bad luck this afternoon. But we picked up the pace this afternoon as well, to be fair. But ended with a real good result.
And the ST Trophy delivering as well, as we've known it to do.
Yeah, I mean, close battle. We were seconds, as it always is in a one-make championship. So, cost effective. That's what we like.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
Bobby, successful day on the stages?
It's been quite an exciting day, actually. The stage has been good.
It's quite a fight out there as well. You look like you had it there or thereabouts.
Yeah, so it's been really good with Zach actually. Obviously, there's been a few stages we've taken from him and then he's taken from us. And yeah, unfortunately, going into the 5th stage, just before we went in, we realised we had a back right puncture. We were in the control trying to change it and then got told by marshals we weren't allowed to change it. So we entered stage 5 with a right back puncture, and about a mile in we got a left back puncture, and then just ran the rest of the stage like a rear-wheel drive Mark II Escort. So it was quite fun, but a little bit frustrating. It's basically the back end of the car just not doing what we wanted.
We did say that. It looked like you were a passenger.
Hopefully, there's a few flashes of the camera, so hopefully there's a good picture of it. But yeah.
You were on the live coverage as well.
Right, okay, fantastic. That's what I want to hear. So yeah, good fun.
We'll see you for a fight next time out.
Yeah, indeed. Thank you.
Will, good day in the stages today. That's how you start your championship campaign off.
Absolutely, yeah. It's been good fun today. So very slippy in the morning, and then I think the rain possibly might have helped us a little bit in the afternoon. So it was good.
Did it make it more slippy?
In places, yes. I think it also held it together in certain places too. So allowed the car to move around a little bit, which suits me a little bit more. So it was good fun.
Any fighting talk at this stage?
No fighting talk at this stage. No, I was just happy to get my co-driver's car because he actually owns it back home in one piece, so that's always good.
Yeah, that could be awkward.
Well, yeah, it would have been awkward, especially if he had called a wrong note, and that argument could have gone on for weeks. So no, but it's all good. So hopefully he'll loan it to me again.
Missing from the championship this season are 2018 champions James Giddings and Sean Cunniff. The pair taking the prize drive Castrol R2 car with support from MRF tyres. This weekend being their first outing in the car. Proof, if it were needed, that the MRF tyres Fiesta ST Trophy really is a ladder on the way to bigger and better things in the sport. Things had been going well for the pair, but a puncture in stage 2 would slow them a little. They were also having a couple of scares in the later stages when they ran wide on a couple of corners, pushing the limits of the car and their experience, but luckily getting away with it.
Turn 2 left through the post. Keep your head now.
Giddings and Cunniff reached the end of the rally with 4th in their class, setting a 3rd fastest time on the opening stage of the day. A strong debut in the car here on the opening round, with plenty more potential from the pair. Certainly ones to watch as their career progresses, with the help and thanks to the Fiesta ST Trophy.
Straight out of the blocks then, the Fiesta ST Trophy once again at the first round in 2019 delivers fast, competitive competition, and it's accessible too. These are stars of the future. You've seen some talented guys come through this. Just look at George Lepley, people like Cameron Davies, people who have come through from this and moved on to bigger and better things. That's what it's all about, and the guys behind the scenes at the Fiesta ST Trophy work so hard to make that happen. Congratulations to them, and congratulations to our podium finishers here at the Cambrian Rally. We'll see you next time.
Here, 40 for rateable crest Titans.